and so faithful came to his end. Now I saw that there stood behind the multitude a chariot and a couple of horses waiting for faithful, who as soon as his adversaries had dispatched him was taken up into it, and straightway was carried up through the clouds with the sound of trumpets, the nearest way to the celestial gate. Brave faithful, bravely done in word and deed, judge, witness and jury have instead of overcoming thee but shown their rage. When thou art dead, thou wilt live on from age to age. Now Christian had some rest and was remanded back to prison. And there he remained for a time. But he who overrules all things, having the power of the rage of men in his own hand, brought it about so that Christian after a time escaped them and went on his way. And as he went, he sang, saying, Well, faithful, thou hast faithfully professed unto thy Lord, with whom thou shalt be blessed, when faithless ones with all their vain delights are crying under their hellish plights. Sing, faithful, sing, and let your name survive, for though they kill you, thou art alive. Now I saw in my dream that Christian didn't go alone, for there was one called Hopeful. He was made so by watching Christian and faithful in their words and behaviour through their sufferings at the fair. And he joined himself to Christian and entered into a brotherly promise. He told him that he would be his companion. So one died to bear testimony to the truth, and another rise out of the ashes to be a companion with Christian in his pilgrimage. This Hopeful also told Christian that there were many more men in the fair who would take their time and follow afterwards. Well, we're out on a walk. The dog's decided to hide in the trees for some reason. Don't know what's going on in his head. In the account of Pilgrim's Progress, faithful is faithful to the end, and the end is short and sharp. But Christian continues on, sure in the knowledge that faithful is now with his Lord. And as he travels on, a man joins himself to Christian, and his name is Hope. And he has come out of the city, Vanity Fair, and he's come out and started following Christian because of what he saw in the life of Christian and of faithful. He saw such life and such promise and such peace and such joy and such glory that he wants to be part of the great pilgrim journey. And he says that there are other men in the city who would follow him. And we touch on this question again of persecution of Christians. It's intriguing that in the most persecuted nations in the world, the church is growing at an incredible speed. We hear accounts of the church growing in places like China, which has been doing for a long time, and in Iran. It's growing in Afghanistan and Turkmenistan and Saudi Arabia, North Africa. Many of the places that have seen a great deal of persecution have also seen great faith, and from that has blossomed great hope and new followers of Jesus Christ. In the way that God works, it's a mystery. But this is how God has worked through the centuries, and this is how invariably God will work again today. But it's also an encouragement to us to remain faithful and to keep going. And though persecutions may come and difficulties may arise, it's how we deal with ourselves, how we trust our God that shines brightest in all the troubles and difficulties and trials of life. The Christian shines through because the Christian's faith is in the living God, and his hope is in what God says and what God has done. And that never dies out. That's a testimony that carries on for generations and generations. Well, today, in our situation, may we be full of hope, may we be full of faith, and may we be followers of the living God, the Saviour of the world, and Jesus Christ, his Son, who walked that same path, that he may save us. Well, from me, my little friend, you come out of the trees, have you? Come to say hello. May God bless you. Have a good day.